Hello guys, I am Chris and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to create a website's hero section using HTML and CSS. So let's get started. As you can see over here, I already have a demo of what our hero section will look like at the end of the video. Our hero section is going to have two buttons and they are going to have hover effects, and our links are also going to have hover effects, and also our icon, our logo. We're going to have two main sections in our hero section. The left side is going to contain our header section, which has the head text and our description, and the right section is going to have our hero section's image. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really means the world to me. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Firstly, don't forget to create your link for CSS, as I already have mine over here, and we're going to be using fonts awesome today. So just head over to your website and search for CDNJS, and when you find CDNJS, right in here you can find your font awesome. Search for font awesome on the search bar right here, and you can see it right here already. Search for font awesome, and when you get in here, just click on this link to copy the CDN and paste it right here in your head tag, and that should do it. Next, we are going to go ahead and start creating our HTML elements. Firstly, here we're going to have our hero section. Create a div and give the class, and the class is going to be hero section. Then next, we are going to have a second div down here, but before that, let's create our anchor tag. This anchor tag is going to be inside a div. It's going to be for our logo. The second div is going to be our navbar. Create this div and give the class, it's going to be navbar, and in here we're going to have our logo. This one's class is going to be logo text. Call it logo text, and in here we're going to have, let's see what the icon looks like. Sorry, the logo. It's next block. I can just copy that and paste it in here, and that is it for our logo. And next we're going to have our links. Create a div, and in here we're going to have our links. Firstly, we're going to have an anchor tag, and we're going to hash that out. It's not usable right now. Our first link is going to be home, and we're going to create this about 3 more times. Paste this 3 more times, and that should do it. The second one is going to be about, and the third one is going to be, let's name it services, and the last one is going to be contact. Then next we're going to have our button container. Just down here we're going to create a div, and we don't need a class for the div. What we need here are two anchor tags. The first one is going to hold our sign up btn. Give it a class, and the class is going to be, let's call it sign in instead. Sign in btn, that's the sign in button, and the text in here is going to be sign in bit. Okay, let's just call it sign in, and let's create the second one. Let's change the class, and the class in this one is going to be toggle btn. The text inside it is also going to be different. In fact, our text right here is going to be an icon. That is the reason for the CDN right here. In here we're going to have our icon. Create an I tag, and the class here is going to be fa-solid, and we're going to have fa-bars. Let's see what that looks like. This is our icon right here, and next we're going to go ahead and create our hero section. That's it for our navbar. Down here after the navbar we're going to have our hero section, but we're going to call it content. Give it a class, and the class is going to be content, and next we're going to have text content. Create another div, and the class here is going to be text content. Then next, inside the div we're going to have our header text. The header text in the demo said, let's block the future of developers. You can just copy and paste this, but you should type it out instead. And next we're going to have our paragraph tag, and in the paragraph tag we're going to have our text. The text that says, discover a platform that empowers developers with tools. I'm just going to copy and paste this, but if it's too much stress, you can create dummy text by typing in lorem 10 or 20 to create dummy text, but I'm going to paste it in since I already have it right here. And next one, I'm going to create our start btn, the one right here. What we have here is get started, so let's create a btn down here, a button. Just down here we're going to create a button, and we're going to call the button class start dash btn, and inside our button we're going to have get started. The next we're going to have our image container after the text contents. Just out here we're going to create a div, and create a div, not a text. I'm going to create a div, and the class is going to be image content, and inside here we're going to have our image, and we don't really need a class for our image. What we need right here is the image source. I already have an image, which is the one in the demo, but you can use any image of your choice. And that is for our HTML. Let's see what it looks like. This is it for the HTML, guys. Now we're going to go ahead and add some CSS to make it look just more like what we have here, as it doesn't just look beautiful yet. Next, we're going to do our CSS, and the first thing we're going to create is an asterisk to remove every padding and margin from our website. We're going to set margin to 0 and set padding to 0. And next, we're going to create our variables. Right in here also, we're going to have our variables. CSS variables are basically reusable styles for mainly colors and things like transition and border radius. This means that we can set them once, and once we change them in the place that we already defined them, they will be changed in every other place. I can just show you guys what I'm talking about when I'm done creating them, so just follow along. First, the first color we're going to have here is a purple color. We're going to call it main color. The first one is going to be hash 6202 F3. That is our purple color. And next we're going to have our hover color. And here we're going to have hash 5C1889. That's our hover color. And next we're going to have our transition, and here our transition is going to be 0.3 seconds. That is the time of our transition and the type of transition we want. Next we are going to style our body tag. In the body tag we're going to have font family, and it's going to be sans serif. And next we're going to style our hero section itself. In our hero section we're going to have this beautiful linear gradients right here, which are the two colors I just created, the main color and let's see what I called it, the hover color. I don't think that is the hover colors. This one here is actually pink, so we're going to create it manually instead of using variables. Next we're going to create our hero section class. We're going to type it out, and here we're going to have our linear gradients. Type in background, and we're going to have linear gradients. Here our linear gradient is going to be 165 degrees, and we're going to have our variable. The first one is going to be the main color, and next we're going to have our custom color. Here we're going to type in hash BC0597. Let's see what that looks like. Exactly, as you can see, this is just what we want. The next we're going to change every color in the shadow section to white, and we're going to have a height, and our height here is going to be 100 VH to make our background stretch all the way to the bottom, as you can see. And next we're going to have display flex. We're going to have display flex right here, and we're going to have column, and our column, not column, we're going to have flex direction, and it's going to be column. The next we're going to have justify content, and it's going to be space between. The next we're going to start our navbar. Let's remove this class right here. It's supposed to be display flex, not just flex. Down here we're going to tell our navbar. We're going to style it by typing in navbar. And firstly we're going to have display flex in here, and we're going to have justify contents. It's going to be space between. And next we're going to have padding, and our padding here is going to be 20 px and 5% for top, bottom, left and right. Next we're going to have a background here, and it's going to be black. Now let's see what our navbar looks like. This is it. It's coming along nicely, just like in the demo, but we're not yet done with the navbar. Next for our navbar, we're going to style all anchor tags. Here we're going to have a, and in here we're going to have text decoration, and it's going to be none. Then next we're going to have color, and our color here is going to be white for every text on the navbar. And we're going to have font weight. Let's set font weight to bold. And next we're going to have transition, which is the one we defined before, transition, and it's going to be, let's set it to the transition we have in the variables. Then next we're going to have our logo text. Let's start with logo text. Here we're going to have font size, and our font size here is going to be 30 px, and we're going to add a hover effect to our logo text. The hover effect is just basically going to be our main color. I'm just going to type in the main color right here. Firstly, we're going to type in color, and we're going to type in var, which is a variable, and we're going to have main color. Let's see what that looks like. It's beginning to look nice. As you can see, this is what I was talking about, the variables. Right now you can see that even if we have many text right here and they have the same colors and variables, once we change the one right here to red, let's see, let's change it to red, you can see that it just changes to red automatically. That is what I was talking about. Now let's change it back to what we need, which is our purple color. The next we're going to style our links themselves. The links we have in the navbar, we're going to have display flex. Let's see if the class is available in HTML right here. Yes, it's available. And next we are going to have, let's see, we're going to have gap, and our gap here is going to be 20 px. We also need to use align items, and it's going to be center. That is to bring everything to the center and make them side by side. This is beginning to look good, but we still need to add more code. Next we're going to have add a hover effect to our links. Just type in links and hover. The next we're going to have our color, the hover color. It's also going to be our main color again. The next, I'm going to style the sign-in btn. Our sign-in btn right here is also going to have a hover effect, as you can see. What we need to do is type in the class sign-in btn, and firstly we're going to have a background, and the background is going to be a variable also, its main color. And next we're going to have color. Our color here is going to be white for the button, and our padding is also going to be 10 px and 20 px for top, bottom, left and right once again. And next we're going to have our mean weight, and mean weight here is going to be 220 px. And next we're going to have border, and it's going to be none. We don't need any border for the button. Next we're going to have border radius. Here it's going to be 25 px, and we're going to set cursor to pointer. I don't think we really need that since our button is an anchor tag. Let's see. I don't think we need that. Yes, we don't. And next we're going to add the transition. We also have the transition in the variables, so just type in vr and type in the transition. That should do it. The next we're going to add a hover effect to our button. Type in the button and add hover at the front, and we're going to change the background on hover, and it's going to be our hover color. Then next we're going to have our color, and I'm going to set it to white. And next we're going to have our toggle btn. The toggle btn is going to have a font size. The font size is going to be 26 px, and we're going to have display. It's going to be none to hide it on larger devices. But firstly, let's see what our toggle btn looks like. This is it right here. We don't need it on larger devices, so we're going to add display none for now. Next, we're going to style our logo text. Well, I've already styled the logo text. What we have to do next is style the contents. The contents down here. As you can see, we are done with the navbar. Next, we have to style the contents and the main hero section. Just type in .contents to call the class, and we're going to have display flex and other flex classes right here. We're going to have display flex, and we're going to have justify content. It's going to be space between, and we're going to have align items here. It's going to be center. We're also going to have padding, and our padding here is going to be 0%. Let's use 0 and 5% instead of 0. We're going to have text align here, and it's going to be start. Let's use start, and next we're going to have height. Our height here is going to be calculated. Let's use calculate, and we're going to have 100% and 80 px. That is for our content. Let's see what it looks like. That is for the content class. Next, we're going to style them individually, the left section and the right section. What I'm going to do here is type in dot text content. Text content class is the one that holds every content on the left side of our hero section. We need a few classes in here. First one is going to be max width. It's going to be 50%, and the second one is going to be text align. It's going to be start, and the last class here, sorry, the last style is going to be margin bottom, and it's going to be 2rem. The next we're going to have text content A to target our header text directly. Text content H1, not A. Here we're going to have font size, and it's going to be 3.5 rem to make it look large, and we're going to have margin bottom, and our margin bottom here is going to be 20 px, and we're going to have text wrap style to make it look good, and it's going to be balanced. Let's see what that looks like. This is beginning to look good, as you can see. Next, we're going to style our paragraph tag itself. The paragraph tag is the one that holds this description right here. We need a few styles inside it also. What we need there is to type in text content and target it directly again. And in here, we're going to have margin bottom, and it's going to be 30 px. And we're going to have line height, and our line height here is going to be 1.5. I think I forgot to add a font family. Okay, we have our font family right here. That is okay. Next, we're going to add a font size to our paragraph tag, and the font size here is going to be 1.2 rem. Let's see what it looks like. This is just what we want, but it's not yet balanced because we've not yet styled the right section to make it look smaller. Next, we're going to style our start button. Right here, just type in start btn, and in here we're going to have a background. Our background here is just going to be black. Let's type in black, and that should do it. Then we're going to have a color, and the color here is going to be white. We're going to have a padding for our start btn. The padding is going to be for top and bottom, as I said before, and also left and right. 15 px, 30 px, and we're going to remove every border by adding border none, and we're going to add border radius to make it look curvy. The border radius here is going to be 25 px, and font size here is going to be 1 rem. The next we're going to add a cursor, and our cursor here is going to be pointer. The next we're going to have transition, which is the last style for our transition button. Sorry, for our start btn. Here the transition is going to be var, which is a variable, and it's going to be transition. And next we're going to have the hover effect for our start button. Just type in the start button and type in hover. Then next we're going to have a background, and we're going to add our var and add hover color. Let's see what that looks like. Exactly, this is just what we want, just like in the demo. Next we're going to style the right section, and after that we're going to make our project responsive, and that should be all. Let's see what it looks like right now. As you can see, it's not yet responsive. This looks very bad, unlike this one. This one looks pretty good. It's quite responsive. Next, let's style the right section. The right section is called image content, and let's target the image directly. And for the image, we're going to have max width, and it's going to be 100%, and we are also going to have height, and our height here is going to be auto. And next we're going to have border radius, and here we're going to set it to 10 px. Let's see what we don't need a border radius for the image. That's wrong. Let's see what that looks like. This looks good. As you can see, this is just what we want. but it's not yet responsive, but it's already looking good. Now let's go ahead and make our project responsive, and that should be it for the project. Down here, we're going to add a media query. We're going to have just one media query because it's not a big project. Our first media query is going to be max width, and it's going to be for iPads and other devices. Here we're going to have 1068 px. Firstly, we're going to target the content, and we're going to set it to flex direction, and it's going to be column. That means on smaller devices, our hero section is going to be wrapped into a block instead of the previous flex we had before. This is just what it will look like on smaller devices, but we're not yet done. Next, we're going to add text align, and it's going to be center. Then next, we're going to have our links. Type in those links, and we're going to have a comma. Then next, down here, we're going to have our start btn. Let's say our sign in btn instead, not start btn. It's going to be display none. What this does is remove the links and this sign in btn on smaller devices, just like what we have in the demo. Next, we're going to bring back our toggle button on smaller devices. This button right here, toggle in navbar or a sidebar on smaller devices. I'm going to do that by typing in .toggle btn, and we're going to add display block. Let's see what it does. That should do it. As you can see, on smaller devices, oh, this is our demo. This is our main project right here. On smaller devices, our button now reappears. The next, we're going to set our text content. Here, we're going to change text content to 100% to make it look balanced. The width is going to be 100%, and next we're going to have hero section. Let's max width here is going to be max width, not just width. And next we're going to have hero section, and height here is going to be 100%. The next we're going to have text content. It's going to be the dot text content, then h1, and it's going to be font size. I'm going to reduce it to 2.8 rem to make it look smaller on smaller devices. Let's see what that looks like. This is beautiful. As you can see, this is just what we have right here in the demo. If you really enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section below. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.